Hello, childrens. I think everyone is fine and safe with your family members. In last class, what we learned, childrens? Yes, we learned about rotation of Earth. The movement of Earth on its axis is called rotation. The Earth takes 24 hours or 1 day to complete one rotation. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And finally, we learnt about how the earth rotates around the sun in detail. In today's class, we are going to continue the same lesson but a new topic, that is revolution. Before starting the class, we can have a small introduction on what is revolution. A movement of earth around the sun is called as revolution. Can you see the picture? The earth rotates around the sun. That movement is called as revolution. While rotating on its axis, the earth also revolves around the sun. The earth revolves along a fixed path called orbit. Orbit means it is the path that an object takes place when it goes around a star, a planet, or a moon. That is called as orbit. The orbit will be oval in shape. Oval in shape means shaped like an egg. It takes the earth about 365 days or 1 year to complete one revolution. That means to complete one revolution, it takes 365 days. Earth orbits the sun at an average distance of 149.60 million kilometers, and one complete orbit takes 365 days, that is 1 year. The sun at an average distance of 149.60 million kilometers, childrens, and one complete orbit takes 365 days to complete. Next, we are going to learn the seasons about the earth. The revolution of earth causes 4 seasons: summer, autumn, winter, and finally spring. Summer is the hottest season among the 4 seasons. It occurs after the spring and before the autumn. Autumn is the season. It occurs between after summer, where leaves fall from trees. It is the 3rd season of year, coming after summer and before winter. Next is winter. Winter is the coldest season of the year. It occurs after autumn and before spring. Next is spring. Spring, it is the season where plants starts to grow again. These are the 4 types of seasons, students. Now we are going to learn about revolution of earth and changes of season in detail. Can you see the picture? The sun is located at the middle. Around the sun, it has 4 earth, that is 4 seasons. Now we are going to learn the position of seasons that occurs in every year. The first position that occurs before the sun. You can see the picture, no? Before the sun, one earth is there. That picture is position 1. It is the spring in northern hemisphere and autumn in the southern hemisphere. When the earth are at this position, the sun rays falls directly on the equator. It will be neither hot or very cold in both hemispheres. The northern hemisphere has spring in position 1 and autumn in southern hemisphere. This is about position 1. Next is position 2. Position 2 is located at the left side of the sun. That is summer. Summer is the northern hemisphere, winter in the southern hemisphere. In the position 2, the northern pole is tilted towards the sun. The northern hemisphere gets more sunlight. Therefore, it is summer in this hemisphere. The days are longer than the nights. During this time, the south pole is tilted away from the sun. The southern hemisphere gets less sunlight, so it is winter in its hemisphere. Now is position 3. Position 3 is located bottom of the sun, that is autumn. Autumn in the northern hemisphere and spring in the southern hemisphere. It is same like as position 1, children's. When the earth are at the position, the sun rays falls directly on the equator. It will be hot or very cold in both the hemisphere. That is, the autumn is present in the northern hemisphere and the spring season is present in the southern hemisphere. These are the change of seasons that occurs in every year, children's. And next is winter, that is position 4. The south pole is moved towards the sun, so the southern hemisphere gets more sunlight. Therefore, it is summer. During this time, the north pole is tilted away from the sun. The northern hemisphere gets less sunlight. Therefore, it is winter in this hemisphere. In the position 4, that is located at the right side of the sun, the northern hemisphere has winter and the southern hemisphere has summer. These are the 4 positions, children. Learn these positions very carefully. These are the things we learnt today. Let's summarize what we learnt in today's class. First, we learnt about revolution. Revolution is the movement of Earth around the sun. This movement is called revolution. The Earth revolves along a fixed path, that is orbit. Orbit is the path that an object takes place when it goes around a star, a planet or a moon. That is called orbit. The orbit will be oval in shape. It takes the Earth about 365 days or 1 year to complete one revolution. Earth orbits the Sun at an average distance of 149.60 million kilometers, and one complete orbit takes 365 days, that is 1 year. And we learned different types of season. Summer it is the hottest season. Autumn is the season that comes after summer, where the leaves fall from the trees. Next is spring. It is a season where plants starts to grow again. Winter is the coldest season of the year. It occurs after autumn and before spring in each year. And next we learnt about change of seasons in the year. And we learnt about 4 positions. The first position is when the earth are at this position, the sun rays falls directly on the equator. It will be neither hot or very cold in the both hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, it has spring. In southern hemisphere, it has autumn. Next is position 2. The north pole is tilted towards the sun. The northern hemisphere gets more sunlight. Therefore, it is summer in this hemisphere. The days are longer than the nights. During this time, the south pole is tilted away from the sun. The southern hemisphere gets less sunlight, so the winter is present in the southern hemisphere. The position 3 is same as position 1. The northern hemisphere has autumn and the southern hemisphere has spring in position 3. It is same as position 1, but the hemisphere changes. So the season also changes, children. Next is your favorite homework. I am very happy that you are doing your homework very sincerely. Very good, children. Keep it up. Now your homework is learn and write what is revolution and how long does the earth takes to complete one revolution. Write in your rough notebook, children. I will repeat the question. What is a revolution? How long does the earth take to complete one revolution? First write the definition of revolution and then write how long does the earth take to complete one revolution. Do your homework, students. See you in next class. Thank you, students.